Hello mates, my name is Risk, and I can explain. Welcome to a little game you may have heard of before called Irisu Syndrome. It's a physics puzzle game, but to me it's more than that. To me it's an experience, to me it's a terrifying, chilling story, narrative, and to me it has a very interesting way of telling its story. This is, I believe, well, at least it's the first time I've ever experienced a meta horror game. And what a meta horror game exactly is for me a game that sometimes breaks the fourth wall and just interacts with you in different ways that are outside of the game. I'm gonna show you my general screen right now. This is how I'm playing the game. The game cannot be played in full screen. Actually, it can be played in full screen. You can actually force it into full screen, but it's gonna look a little bit off. So I keep playing this in this original format. So you may already know I've made a full review video for this game. This game has so much things into it that I just had to do a review video on it. And I've never done a project in that scale before, and it was very, very fun. However, to make that project a possibility, I had to cut out a lot of little details, and I just really wanted to play the game and talk about all the details I've never mentioned in my videos and other stuff. You know, sometimes I just want to ramble about this game, but I can't really do that in a review video. In a review video, I try and make it a bit more concise, because, you know, for every bit of talking that I do, I have to edit for that, and it takes a lot of time. So, there we are. We're just gonna play the game, and I'm really, really excited. Now, you may remember I've actually played this game multiple times. Actually, you know what? Just gonna change the music. It's a thing I haven't really done much. Let me also decrease the sound on my end, so I can just talk. So, oh man, there's something I want to talk about right now, but I have to give a little bit of an introduction before we go into it. There was an element on screen that I never mentioned before, and I know that's crazy considering how much I done on my review video. Oh, nobody saw that. You know what, if you want to watch my review video, if you haven't watched my review video, you probably should, because I'm going to talk about a lot of spoiler related things. I'm going to come off from the assumption you watched the review video. There is a video card in the top right corner of the screen. Actually, it's right there, top right corner of the screen, and click on it, it'll take you to my review video. There is a link in the description as well if the card info is not working for whatever reason. So yeah, well, I can't really do anything with that block anymore. It might be a little difficult for me to talk and play this game at the same time. It always is difficult to talk and play a game at the same time, because you're kind of splitting your focus. You're not entirely focused on the game, but I'm gonna try my best. So if I suck, please excuse me. It's not really... Well, I guess it is my fault, but, you know, I just want to talk and get the point across. The point of this video is not really to show you how good I am at this game, though I do have some advanced tips to show you, you know, how good you can be in this game. Anyway, so a little introduction I wanted to give, like, a few minutes ago. Actually, before we get into it, leave a like in the video if you'd like to see part 2 or 3 or all endings. The more videos I do at this game, the more explanation I'm gonna give. Okay, now for the intro. I have played this game before, multiple times actually. I have actually played this game even before I had a YouTube channel. More specifically, a year before I had a YouTube channel, and I remember vowing that if I ever had a YouTube channel, I'll play this game. Which, funnily enough, that's exactly what happened. I ended up making a YouTube channel, not specifically because, you know, I wanted to cover this game specifically, but when I had a YouTube channel, I was like, damn, hey, I can finally do the thing I always wanted to do, which was very, very nice. So I actually have 2 more playthroughs of this game. I have a very, very old one, and then I have a sort of new one, and now we have a 2021 playthrough of this game by me. So that's a thing. So please excuse me, this one requires a bit more precise maneuvers. I'm gonna show you some cool tips and tricks I cut out of the video to not make it boring. Cut out of my review video to not make it boring. I'm just gonna wait for a scenario where it actually is beneficial to talk about those. So I'll do that. So the element I wanted to talk about in the screen is not here it actually went away, so we'll talk about it, I guess, in round 2. And I'll try not get more than 40,000 points right now, so I don't have to, you know... So I actually have to play the game, because if you get 40,000 points before round 6, then you don't really have to play the game anymore. The game sort of just works, or beats itself, I guess. Oh man, man, I have so many things to say, I don't know even where to start. I definitely don't think I've done a playthrough of Metsu Mode, so I'm gonna be including that as well. And then once I get all the endings, I guess I'll make a separate video for that, where I just fit all the endings in a single video. And yeah. Okay, it's getting a bit crowded here. Yeah, sometimes you have these ones outside, you can't really do much about them. Once they hit the edges of the screen, they just disappear. And it kind of slipped my mind that I didn't really talk how this game works. Again, I'm assuming if you watch the review video, you kind of get the idea, but I'll give you a bit of a refresher. We have shapes falling from the top, as you see, and I just knock them to other shapes with the same color to make them shine. And then once they shine, they can break on the floor, and they give you health right here to your health meter, and also they give you some points. You need a set amount of points to actually progress. I'm saying progress because the game never actually stops. You just get a good or bad ending depending on how well you did in a round. So it's a bit different in Metsu Mode, but I guess we'll get to that once we get to Metsu Mode. I'm thinking about what I could talk about. So one of the things that, you know, one of the main, I don't really know, theories. It's not really much of a theory because Irisu, the character over here right now in the background looking at us, kind of goes ahead and says it, that this is a game she has in her mind. So right now we're in her mind playing this game of shapes, and this game kind of helps her relax, which we'll get to. Okay, I need to focus. I really apologize. I gotta focus for a moment here. So when you have a wall like this, it's really better to just knock shapes from the top, because then you run less of a risk of actually have many shapes on the ground disable. When they're disabled, they look like this. They're just grayed out and sitting on the floor, not really doing anything, and it acts more of an obstacle. Your focus is, however, is to just get as much score as you can and clear as many shapes as you can. Not so much about the shapes you're on the floor. In Metsu Mode, it's the other way around, actually. But again, we'll get to that once we get to that. Oh man, I really wanted to start with a previous element on the screen. So I'm just gonna... You know what, I can even fail right away now, and it wouldn't matter that much, because I can do better in other rounds. Because it's a really interesting theory I revealed right at the last video of my review video, or part 2 of my review video, where I explain why some certain mechanics work the way they do. Which is very, very fascinating to me. And this is, again, a meta horror game, and aside from actually just showing like visual elements or, you know, other elements outside the game, it actually is also telling a story through gameplay mechanics, which I really, really like. We could talk about them more in detail once we actually... Well, I just lost a chunk of health there. While we... I lost my train of thought, excuse me. There's just so much going on. This game is really difficult to talk over, because you have different phases. Anyway, we reached 20,000 points, so I can actually do this. By the way, I'm using my mouse wheel to fast forward time. It's one of the things I really like about this game. You don't actually have to wait for anything. The game, you can set your own tempo for the game, but for now I'm probably not gonna use it much. And this is what happens at the end. Once you finish a round, the character from the background comes to the foreground, and you see her in all her detail. So, when I played that first, when I was like 14 years old and I played this, or 15-year-old, I got so freaked out by this. I don't know, things like these are very freaky. And then after that section, you get like a picture you can put in your album, and throughout the entire game you just build the album through here. And there's a bunch of things here. I'm not really gonna read too much into it, because I don't really feel like reading those. But this is pretty much just the group talking about being in a, you know, they're just having a small talk, really. It sets the settings for the game. So it's actually a group of 3 teenagers or university students, excuse me. They're in an island, apparently. And yeah, that's it. That's the setting so far. They're over here sin fishing and having a little bit of fun. And also, I never really pointed it out, though I did put a focus on it in my review video, my first one. You can actually see right behind this rock, there is bunny ears. And last time that I checked, rocks do not have any sort of ears. So that's a bit of an idea of what's going on. Before we continue, it's a good idea to actually check the folder of the game. So if we go right now to the folder of the game, we can see two new text files actually spawned. And the first one is a request. If I bring it over here to the screen, it says to everyone, everyone is getting along for now. In the hopes that you don't show unnatural behavior, I earnestly thank you. Which I thought is super interesting because I feel like at first this letter is directed to me, the player. And that was really freaky because it feels like the game was talking to me. The only other game that really gave me this sort of sense was Doki Doki Literature Club. And then we have Curtain Rise. Once we open it, it says concept on an island, the outbreak of a serial murder incident. The actors are 3 people. Edogawa, his role is to disappear first. Uchi, his role is to disappear second while going to search for Edo. And Irisu, her role is to remain until the end. So this is another note written by, I guess, Irisu? Because we never see the plan written like that, but we do see in one of the notes a mention of one of the characters reading this quote-unquote plan. So I believe he actually saw this. The concept on an island ? The outbreak of a serial murder incident. The Curtain Rise also features actors. And if we go to the game and look at the album, we can see some of the actors, not all of them. We have Edogawa, his role is to disappear first. Uji, his role is to disappear second. And then Irisu, which is actually present in this picture, just not in the foreground. This gal, her name is still unknown to us, but her name is Ageha. I'm pretty sure that's how we pronounce it. Though I'm not 100% sold on that. So this all works to set up a theme for the game. Also, if we go back to the folder of the game, we can look at a photo here, and we can see a photo of the same teenagers, or excuse me, the same university students we've seen earlier. I can enlarge the picture a bit, but it looks a bit icky when we do, so I'll keep it like this. So again, we have Edogawa, and then we have Ageha and Uji, which you're gonna notice a common theme where he wears constantly long-sleeved shirts and everything. And yeah, when I saw this, like, it rings so many questions to my head. Like, why is there a photo in the folder? Why am I getting text messages? Especially when I started, it's like, why is there a photo? Like, what significance does it have? It's like, this game does such a good setup for the world it's trying to build, and it really works out for it. And also this strange character we see on the menu screen, which I completely neglected to mention. We see over here Irisu. So over here we see her, she's missing a sock which she's holding, and it looks like it's swaying with a lot of weight. She's also wearing this dress, which is also explained in one of the notes. Or not exactly explained, but you can get an idea why she's wearing this and why she's dressed like that. Though I'm not sure why it looks like a witch. That never really was explained. I guess that's the syndrome, right? Irisu's syndrome. So depending on which melody you chose, it's gonna change the visual element that appears at the beginning, which I'll show you and we'll talk about. It's something I really wanted to talk about in the video, but I never really got a chance to do it in my review video. So over here at the bottom, it says about 10 hours looking at the ceiling. That's it, and there is a little music note next to it, meaning that's the name of the track. Now, I never really got to talk about that because I just didn't have time. Like the video, I did like 2 parts for the video, and each part was like over an hour long. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, so I never really addressed that in my review video, and it's actually a very important piece because when you read the title again, 10 hours looking at the ceiling, that does not sound normal. And in fact, it might be what we're just seeing right now, which is her just looking. She could be looking at the ceiling, which explains, because I can't think of a sketchbook that would have a green background. So I guess she's like looking at the ceiling and she sees all the drawings. I'm allowed to say that, right? Again, no, I assume everybody watched my review video at this point. So, she's looking at the ceiling. This is the ceiling, and she sees all the drawings of Uji. And there's a lot of dead cats, and she's very passionate about cats killing themselves. We have a cat falling headfirst into spikes. There is a little bunny over there, cheering him on, I guess. There is, over here, right at the top, there is a cat sleeping in a microwave. By the way, I really hope we don't get demonetized for saying any of this. Because this is, you know, it's not exactly things you would say openly. There is a cat eating, looks like himself? I don't know? No, he's not eating himself, but maybe he's eating a sword? Maybe. Because I can't imagine he's eating a banana. It looks a lot like a banana, but I can't be sure if it's a banana. Like right here, I'm talking about this one. By the way, I'm losing a lot of health while I'm talking. This is, we gotta get rid of this huge shape because it's grabbing, whoops, not this one, because it's grabbing a lot of our space at the bottom here. We have also to take care of this here at the left side. What else we have? We have a cat that literally hanged himself. Did he touch the bottom? No, okay, cool. Let me just knock it over. There's a few more rules for the game that I forgot to talk about. I was explaining it and then I got sidetracked. Oh, I need that. Go back in. Thank you. So, to actually move around the shapes and make them hit the corresponding colors, I need to shoot little projectiles out of my mouse. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'll shoot this one out and I'll shoot this one over there. So you gotta shoot like these projectile out of your mouse. You can see I can shoot a very soft white one, or I can shoot a gray one that has a much stronger velocity. And it really depends on what kind of movement you want to get to, you know, move a shape. And generally you would use the gray one if you have a shiny shape, because you would like to have the extra force, considering you can only shoot at it once. There is not really much of a risk to it. Sometimes it can fall out of bounds, but generally it's very beneficial that you try and get as many shapes you can in a combo. I'll talk more elements, I guess, once we see more of them. But back to the name of the song, or the track, which, by the way, the music is very, very nice. It was made by somebody called Watson. Very, very talented individual, let me tell you. This music is really top-notch. Like, everything about this game is very, very good to me. The gameplay is fun, the story is very, very interesting. Like, I don't know what's the hook of the game, because everything to me is just appealing. Literally everything. The visual, the gameplay, the music, like, I don't know what to put. So that's why I call this game an experience rather than a game, because it just does everything so well. And I just can't really put my finger on what actually makes this game so good. But if I did have to choose one, I'd say it's probably the story of the game. Because at the end of the day, the game is very addicting, but there is only so much you can knock shapes. There is only so many times you can knock shapes and have fun while doing so. I guess if you're aiming for the 100,000 secret, then sure. Which, by the way, even if I do try and go for the 100,000 point, I'm not gonna reveal anything. The secret only becomes available after a certain round. I don't remember which one it is, though. I think it's after the ending. Yeah, it's probably after the ending, which I don't think I've ever talked about the significance. Oh my god, knock from the top. I forgot, guys. I'm so sorry. There were so many shapes. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. Let's get all the shapes down on the floor, lose some health, and then get it back. By the way, that very, very shiny ball, once it hits a shape that isn't disabled, it's gonna delete all the shapes with the same color and then restore health back. So just if you're curious how I'm managing health. And by the way, health you lose over time, as you can see. And it really puts a sense of urgency on this game. It's always on you to continue supplying more and more health. Another point of the game is that all these shapes are actually thoughts within Irisu's head. It's actually why she's playing this, I believe. She's like spinning and turning her thoughts and trying to make sense of all the thoughts she has. Oh shit, it actually touched the floor, so I lost health. Okay, hold on. I gotta focus. Again, I'm sorry this commentary is all over the place, but if I keep gonna try to like make a perfect commentary, it's probably not gonna happen. And this is the only gameplay of the game, so yeah. I just really wanted to talk about this game more. Again, the game is luring me back in, so I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, I upload a video at least once a day, so I don't mind it. Oh, yeah, the shiny ball hit a disabled shape, so it just breaks and doesn't do anything. Well, okay. Anyway, this is one of the, something I mentioned before just a second ago. Like, I brought up the name of the track again, but I forgot to actually mention what it means. Staring at the ceiling for 10 hours sounds like depression, right? Sounds like something you would do. Like, you would sit in bed, if you have depression, that is. You would sit in bed for like, shit. You would sit in bed for like 10 hours, looking at the ceiling, playing this game maybe to try and calm yourself down. It really just shows you what kind of character Irisu is, and it might show you about one of her mental deficiencies, I guess. I don't want to say what it is. I have a pretty good idea, but I don't want to try and diagnose her of anything. But it sounds I don't know. You know what? I'm not gonna say what I think it maybe is, because again, I'm no therapist, and I don't think there is not enough evidence to support that. I think it's just most likely like normal depression. You know, there is a depression spectrum. There is a different kind of depressions as well. Oh, I screwed that up pretty good. So, yeah, that's one of the name. Next track, by the way, 30,000 points, so let's go ahead and fail. Next track, we'll read the name and talk what it may be about. So there you go. By the way, you can speed this up. The music doesn't speed up when you move your mouse, but you can speed up this process, which is kind of funny, because sometimes I do scare myself while doing this. If you get 40,000 points or more, then Risu is gonna look very, very deformed. And if you do that, she just like, bow, like a jump scare, which, by the way, there is a jump scare in this game. Not in the endings, like I showed in the review video, but there is actually a jump scare to this game. I'm not 100% sold on how to get it. I think it might involve getting the bad ending or the good ending. There is a jump scare in this game, though, and it, I think, also relates to the story, or at least I feel like it relates to the story in a way, and or at least relates between the relationship of the player and Irisu, which I guess it's not really much of a story, because the player is essentially her mental ability. I don't know, because she's playing this game in her head. Anyway, there we go. We get another picture to our album. In this picture, Edogawa is this guy. He's telling a ghost story about a rabbit witch girl that he saw in the middle of the night, just staring at him and creeping out Ageha over here. And Uji is like, what the hell? Huh? Uji always looks a bit funny to me. Yeah. But yeah, it seems like they're having fun over here. And it's part of the plan. Actually, if we go back to the folder, excuse me, I'm fumbling a lot on my own words, but I just don't want to, you know, keep cutting it out and out until I get like the perfect take. So I'm just kind of rolling with it. So now, if we look at the folder, there is a message specifically to Edogawa. So now we know it's no longer to us or something, because, you know, these ones might as well be to us, because it's really telling us about like, it doesn't say like who specifically this message is to, and it says like, I earnestly thank you, so I feel like that's to me. Or even for her, it says in hopes that you don't show unnatural behavior, I earnestly thank you. So I believe maybe that's a letter to herself. Who knows, because a lot of this information we get out is out of their diary. Irisu and somebody else's diary. In fact, we get to see almost everybody's diary except Edogawa's diary. Back to Edo's message. We will gradually begin from nightfall. Please appropriately make up ghost stories. Like we planned at our recent meeting, incorporate what we talked about into your story. So this is an already pre-planned thing, as we can infer from this message. Edogawa is... I'm kind of repeating what's written here in the note. But Edogawa is telling a ghost story about a girl that looks like a witch and she's wearing bunny ears. That's the only addition. Which, by the way, you can notice a little thing here in her ear. Which we'll bring it up later. It will make sense later. And yeah, what else did I wanted to do? Also, there is ranking. I haven't really talked about ranking because it's insignificant. Doesn't really do anything. If we change the music again and launch the game, it's gonna have a different name for the visual element. So sure, we'll do it. Let's see what it is. I didn't talk to anyone today. Either. Well, it's I guess it relates back to her background diary. It's a diary that only appears in the background. It's what I deemed it is what really I call it. Funny story about that. When I made the review video, that was the first time I actually figured out what was written in the background diary, because I've never made any attempts to actually reveal that information. I was really curious. I tried reading it through. You know, just through the menu itself, but it's so difficult because Irisu and the menu, Irisu, which appears on either side of the screen, and the menu itself covers a lot of the text, so it's kind of hard to infer what is actually written. You can get an idea, but you really need both sides of the diary to actually tell what is written there. So I didn't talk to anyone today. Again, shows us a bit about her character. I don't know if it's just social anxiety or something, but at one point she just stopped talking to people. I forgot exactly why. She said, I guess we can read the diary later, but she just kind of stopped talking to everyone, and then everyone else, because she did that, everyone else just stopped talking to her. And that was before the rabbit died too. Uchi and the rabbit were her only friends. Which, funny enough, it seems like the relationship between Uchi and Irisu is pretty much the same ever since they were children, which I found it really odd. They have a strange sense of connection. I remember in one of the diary notes, it says they feel a strange sense of connection through 4 empty seats apart, which got me thinking. I never actually, linked it to anything. The only thing I can potentially link it is the fact there are 4 people on the group. There is Edo, there is Uji, there is Ageha, and then there is Irisu. So I assume empty seats apart. Strange sense of connection is that somehow they're only really connected when all 4 of them are in a party? I don't know. I really don't know. It's really a long shot at this point, because I can't really tell everything about this game, but I can tell a big amount. Some of the things that I talked about in the game itself never showed up in the wiki for the game, so I felt very accomplished and excited when I could actually connect some of the endpoints to the gameplay mechanics and everything. I thought that was really, really cool. And yeah. What else? What else is there to talk about? We're right now at level 7. The levels don't really have significance in this mode. Only in Metsu mode does it actually have significance. How long have I been talking for? Whoa. I've been playing this for a while and I haven't even noticed. Well, right now my head is kind of empty because not a whole lot is happening. I'm just trying to get score. So you know what? We can actually talk about other projects by the same developer. I never mentioned that in a review video, but this is not the only game the developer made, and it's actually very similar to Irisu Syndrome, as in, it has a creepy side to it. In fact, I might actually do a playthrough of it. I already done a playthrough of it on the channel, but I never actually beaten it. I had to cheat to show everybody the ending, but oh yeah, and the game, you can't find it online anywhere. I have a copy of it, so I uploaded it everybody can download the game. So I feel pretty good about that. I feel like, I'm preserving the game, which is very, very nice. So about the other project of the game, the developer, Watson, yeah? Watetsu, excuse me, not Watson. Watson is the music, the one who is responsible for the music. Oh god, look at all these shapes. And they're all for me. Well, I guess that works. By the way, if sometimes shapes stack too much up here, then they're gonna start breaking at the border. There is a border somewhere up there. It's a lot harder to reach. If you send one of the shapes outside, then it's gonna break immediately. But to actually make a shape break up there, you need a bunch of them to stack up there. Or at least, more specifically, to stack above this white line, which is a bit difficult. So you're pretty much losing shapes you were supposed to get points for, but it's either that or whatever. I guess that breaks the game in a way. Anyway, to talk about the projects, the other project that the developer made, the folder of the game is called Love, or at least when I downloaded the game, the folder of the game was called Love. I don't remember, but somebody done an English translation because the game was originally in Japanese. So I'm really, really glad people are actually... I don't know who actually translated it, but I'm really glad people are going out of their way to translate these games. Otherwise, if these games weren't translated, we could play them, but we wouldn't understand a damn thing. So, the game is pretty much about a girl who has an unknown illness. We don't know what the illness is. I could perhaps do a review video for it. Whoa! Hello? Okay, whatever. I could perhaps do a review video for it. But it's about a girl who has an unknown illness. And throughout... When you play the game, that's actually very, very sad to me. I remember playing it and I got really, really sad. You don't really notice it at first, but when you play the game... at the menu screen, gosh, I get a little bit emotional just thinking about it. When you play the game, the main menu screen of the game features a lot of candy. There is a lot of candy. There is a lot of like Japanese foods and stuff. But the more and more you play the game, and the more the girls start feeling sick, like you get a little cutscene after each round, because that game is also separated to rounds. Then and you see how the girl says like she slowly feels more and more unwell. Then the candy in the main menu screen is start getting replaced by medication and like other medical equipment, which I just found it really, really sad. Like thinking about it really makes me tear up, because you can slowly see the situation of the girl deteriorating. Again, I've done a playthrough of it a long time ago. Hey, if you guys really enjoyed this video, I'll do a playthrough of the game. It's called Tokashiwa Mochi. It's a long Japanese name. I can't remember it, but it's called Love and Rice Cakes or something. Love and yeah, Love and Rice Cake, I think, or something like that. I guess the name of the game is just the girl's favorite snack, and damn. You know, maybe I'll save all this information for when I actually play the game. Because I feel like I have a lot to say about that game too. Maybe I should even do a review video. Unlike that game though, I never saw it spawn anything in my folder. Oh, we already got past 20,000 as I was talking. Okay, roll it, I guess. Hello, Irisu. So sometimes the game kind of bug out, or not bug out, but like get stuck. I assume it's to actually spawn files in the folder or something, or maybe write something, I don't know. But sometimes I click, but it takes a while before the image appears. Doesn't really matter, but again, as a horror let's player, whenever there is stuttering, something is going on. Which then, damn, this picture is really, really nice. You can see Uji and Ageha sitting, eating some curry. And we can see a plate for Uji, which never actually showed up. And they... Damn, that's a very nice place. They're just staying in a cabin in a sort of an island. There's an individual who uploaded all the ripped assets from the game and uploaded it online. And there are some unused assets. One of them is just a sketch of the whole island, which I thought was really, really cool. I never really looked at it in detail. I think I looked at it, but I never really looked at it in detail after doing my review video, because I do infer there is some sort of a hideout for Uji and Edogawa and Irisu to stay at. But I'm not entirely sure. That's my theory, at least, that there is some sort of a hideout. It also kind of changes the story about who dies, who lives, who dies first, at least. Let's go back to the album. Now, this is a shorter. This is the point in the game where the text actually gets shorter between each one of the pictures. First one and second one have a lot of text, but the third one really tones it down. So over here, the triple dot is just Ageha being worried about Edogawa not coming back. And Uji is telling her, unsurprisingly, just don't worry about it. Or surprisingly, I guess, don't worry about it. I mean, Uji is a person that doesn't really care much for things. And the whole change, or the whole strange thing about him is that in the end of the game, he does start caring. So I guess right now it's not out of character or anything. But damn. What else? Oh yeah, folder. I don't think anything spawns in the folder once you do that, but it doesn't need to, because if you go over here, the photo now updated, Edogawa is missing, and depending, it could go either way. His fate is unknown because he's right now hiding in the hideout. We already inferred that he was not killed, he's just missing, and then next round is the round that decides whether he dies or not, because Edogawa goes missing. And whatever happens to Edogawa is determined right then and there. I managed to prove it by the fact that all the 20,000 points you saw me reach so far means nothing. I can actually lose all the rounds until this point, and then win only a single round to actually get the quote-unquote good ending. Actually, it is the good ending, not quote-unquote. It is the good ending. So yeah, he's right now missing. He's hiding in a hideout. And whatever happens to him depends on what happens to Uji. If Uji lives, Edogawa lives. If Uji dies, Edogawa dies. So, we don't know exactly, though, what happened to make her kill Uji. I have a few theories, but we don't know exactly what happened to see, you know, what happened, whether Uji came and confessed. You know what, something I haven't done is compare the art style of the drawings with the crew drawing of the dead rabbit. Maybe we can do that and figure out who exactly drew that. It might even be just Irisu drawing that out of her memory. But I doubt it. Pretty much doubt it. I'm pretty sure Uji drew that, but I feel like it might be beneficial to see that. By the way, you hear that sound? That's the sound of me hovering over the cat. I'm not sure what causes him to appear, though. I think it's after getting a certain amount of rounds that the cat appears, but not visually. He's just there. You can hear my mouse hover over in it. I can click it. It'll send me to Metsu mode. But I haven't finished the normal mode. I wonder what happens if you try and beat Metsu mode. Maybe it's unintended for you to go to Metsu mode like this. I mean, I can click it and it's gonna do the cutscene and everything. Let's switch another music melody. You know what? I can fill this one. Zero Communication. That's the name of the track. Zero Communication really sounds very similar to the name of the track we've seen before. Which is, I haven't talked to anybody today either. It's very similar, at least in nature. Because Zero Communication is just like not talking to anybody. So, yeah, it's pretty much the same, now that I think about it. But damn. Like, see, there is so many elements in this game that reveal parts of the story. It's like everything in this game works one hand to tell you a story, which it feels great because it feels like there is no wrong direction you can look. Everywhere you look, there is something to figure out. And I don't know, it feels like it really reveals parts of the character of Irisu, which is, again, I guess the most, the track that reveals the most information is actually the one after this, where it's like, I look 10 hours at the ceiling, which again reveals like it could be depression or something along those lines. So yeah, I said I'm gonna fail, right? So let's go ahead and fail. In this point, I want you to notice that she looks completely normal. Right? This is an important visual element because it literally places in the timeline when Edogawa and Uji dies. So she does a minigame, she fails it. We definitely know, I already shown in the review series, that if you fail this round and win any other, you lose the game no matter what. So what's significant about it is not this point specifically, but rather what happens after it. A bit of a dramatic effect waiting for the music to end, but this is the point where Uji leaves Ageha alone. They're both in the forest. They decided to go look for Edogawa because Edogawa went missing and he never showed up. And they're starting to worry about, or at least, Ageha is starting to worry about his whereabouts. Uji knows exactly what's going on, but in the back of he doesn't know actually what's going on because we just failed. So he doesn't know what's actually going to happen. Now, if we look at the album, look at the text, they're just calling Edogawa, where are you? And then Uji says he hears something, and Ageha says she doesn't hear anything. And then he goes to check it out without her. So separating Ageha from the rest of the group. So if we go now to the back to the folder, there is a new audio file. There is a new text file called to Uji. One person is erased. From around here, bit by bit, the climax is coming. Edo should secretly vanish in the dead of night. Uji, please suggest going to search for Edo. Disappear unnoticed when you find the chance to do so. So over here, I don't think like Uji just got the message just now or something. This was all pre-planned. Because if we go to a message by Edogawa, look at this line, like we planned at our recent meeting. Right, so they had a meeting and they talked about this. So this whole deal was pre-planned. So it's not like he just got this message. We just got this message as the person who is looking at the story. Think of it like this. We're the detective and we're uncovering the pieces. But the pieces are already known to most of the characters. If we look at the photo, Uji is not missing yet. Because again, I suggested that what happens after an interaction with Uji and Irisu. So he left her, and the interaction is gonna happen. I feel like the exact place of when the interaction happens is right before she starts looking again in her head or something. Either that or during as well. Because again, we already inferred that losing the previous rounds loses the entire game. So even if I get a bajillion points right now, if I get bajillion points right now, then it's not gonna change anything. I'm still gonna get a bad ending, which really like blew my mind when I done it for the review because it revealed so much on the story. Zero Communication, yeah, that's the name of the track. There is gonna be more tracks when we go into what's it called, Metsu mode. So if I'll make a mental notice for myself to talk about those. Damn, I don't think I've ever talked this much in a video before, because my voice feels very, very crooked or rusty. So at this point in the game, even if you get over 40,000 points, which kind of gets you the get out of jail free card, you know, you're not gonna get it. And that tells a lot about the story. It tells that the fate is already pretty much sealed at this point. And maybe Irisu confronts Uji. Because we know she kills him right now. Like, this is the moment she kills him. And I'm sorry, I'm just losing my train of thought. Because I gotta play this game, which actually requires you to think. And I'm just mindlessly clicking. I'm gonna get 20,000 points just to show you that it doesn't matter what kind of score you get. He still loses. 20,000 points is like, you passed. And if you remember, I didn't pass last round. So, everything is gonna go to shit. Let's get rid of those. There is a bunch of shapes going down over here. I'll get this out of here. There you go. Oops. Well, hold on. Juggling is probably the most, requires the most brain power, because you gotta juggle them and look at the top, so there's you have to do 2 actions at the same time while looking at the top to see when you can match one of them. It's not necessary. Again, this game is very forgiving. There is a lot of shapes. You can easily create combos, especially if you follow the guidelines of, like, if there is a wall, you just shoot for the top. And I'm pretty certain the wall is probably the only real danger to you. When I talk about the wall, I'm talking about when there is a lot of shapes, just a bajillion shapes falling at the same time. Because that's the only point where you can lose a significant point of health. Because the game does every once in a while give you a bit of health back with these shiny balls. Yep. Quote me on that. Shiny balls. Alright, I'm gonna have to knock some from the top. How? What? It didn't touch any red shape there. I guess it's a bug of some sort. Sometimes, occasionally, I get bugs in this game too. Sometimes there is a freaky bug. A very, very freaky bug that I never showed. But sometimes Irisu doesn't spawn in the main menu. And it only happens when I do something very quickly and leave. By the way, can I get the jump scare now? I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like I can get the jump scare. Either that or I have to do something specific to get it. You know what? You know what? I'll try and get the jump scare. What? Why was there yellow coming out of the bottom over there? Were they stuck there? Anyway, I'll try and get the jump scare after the bad ending, which we are definitely gonna get. And yeah. You know, this point in the game actually revealed to me that Irisu isn't the bad person this game is making her out to be. Because we inferred that a lot of this actually has to do with Uji's decisions rather than Irisu's decisions. Whether Uji brings on the trip a drawing, a sketchbook drawing of the dying rabbits, because we already read in his diary in Metsu mode that he has the perfect plan to make Irisu kill him. That was his plan, to have Irisu kill him along with everybody else. Okay, this is weird. This run is definitely stranger at least. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought again. It's probably gonna happen a lot. I didn't really come prepared or anything. I was just like, yeah, I just want to talk about this game. So again, in Metsu mode, Uji said that he saw the plan by Irisu to kill everybody else in the group because they're taking Uji away from her. Because Uji is with Ageha and Edo, then he's spending less time drawing dead cats, which is, you know, it's how Edo, excuse me, not Edo. It's how Uji and there's so many shapes. It's how Uji and Irisu communicate. That's the only communication between them. In fact, the zero communication thing could be referring to that, where Uji stopped communicating with Irisu. Sorry that I'm not talking. Again, there's gonna be a bunch of sections of those. When I remember when I played the game originally, when I was 14 years old, there were some times where the game just like, whoosh, like this. And I think it's because there was an issue in my mouse, but I would be really scared. And for whatever reason, I feel like I remember it happening while she appears like in the foreground or something. I don't think that's real, because if it was real, it would have probably happened to me multiple times, because I played this game so much more for the reviews, so much more you wouldn't believe. I played this game so many times to make sure I get all the details right, because there is so many things. The game doesn't really hide too many things. It's just that you have to look for them, you know? Because when I look at it in hindsight, I didn't have to do any like crazy game theory things. I literally just connected the dots that I saw. But for me to connect the dots, I had to first find the dots. And it's something very interesting, because I feel like anybody who would like to dive to this story could. And they would dive to the story as much as they're willing to dive. You know, however much they're willing to spend in the game, they're gonna reveal that much story. Or at least an adequate amount of story or lore that would come from, you know, playing the game a certain amount of time or looking for a certain amount of things. And at this point, again, if I'm gonna get 30,000 points, nothing's gonna happen. So I don't know. I feel like it's really cool, though. I feel like it's such a cool discovery. I might just do it. And I'm gonna reach to it very quickly, because, again, the more you play the game, the more each individual shape is worth. Oh, Dios mío. Hold on. Oh my god, I might actually lose. I gotta focus for a moment. Lose, quote unquote. I might actually screw up. Let me just... Oh no! Okay, sorry. A disable shape, when it touches, sometimes you see me knock over a disable shape. It's very dangerous. I just do it because I'm used to doing it. Wow, I gained very little points back. Very little health back. I wonder what that was about. I feel like this run in specific is very bugged. We've seen shapes like kind of from the bottom, like kind of shine and stuff. Oh god, I might actually lose this. I was supposed to gain all my health back just now. Push it, push it. This is very delicate, because you don't want to knock... Oh god. I'm sorry, I'm focusing because it feels like it's a bit buggy right now, so... I gotta make sure I don't screw up. Oh god. When this happens, you just have to pray. Oh my god. Okay, I lost. I'm not gonna show you the 40,000 points. But even if I did get the 40,000 points, she would look completely the same. There you go. Oh wait, maybe I was wrong about the... Excuse me, I might have been wrong about when she executes Edo. I think she executes him in this round. Right? Round 1, round 2, round... She was supposed to cry just now. So there is another way to prove it other than getting all... you know, winning all the rounds. I just have to win this round. Right, so I can fail this one. And then there is this stutter always in this round. Don't think I ever understood why. Now, if I win this round, she should be fine still. I just lost like 3 rounds in a row. Because this is so weird. She should have cried. I'm pretty sure I didn't lose. Or at least I lost the round that I was supposed to get the bad ending. So I just want to see if everything is fine after this round. So I'm gonna get 20,000 points and then I'm gonna meet you at the end. Okay, this is round 4. I have over 20,000 points, so I'm gonna go ahead and lose. And now I should be able to win it regardless, right? Yeah, okay. So as you see, I lost every single round. And I only won round 4. And I have the... And there we go, I have the good ending. Though I do have to admit I want to get the bad ending first. Okay, I got a little confused, so I went back and watched my own review video on why, you know, after losing this round, why I was still able to get the good ending. Apparently, never tried that. Apparently, you can only get the good ending if you win round 4. But if you lose round 4 but win other rounds, you're still fine. So it's just that round 4 has significance if you win, not if you lose. So I got a bit confused by that. I thought for a moment that the information on my review was not correct, but it was. It's just that I was thinking about it backwards. Ooh. Anyway, we're gonna get the bad ending, so I can try and get the jump scare Easter egg. So to do that, we just jump like this. There we go. Yeah, there's a unnatural pause when that happens. I guess the photo changes when that happens. Yeah, that must be because it's overriding the current photo you have. That makes sense, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna go back, continue losing. This is round 4. This is imagine there is a dot before every picture. So right here, the dot right here is the one where if you lose or if you win, then losing on the rest of them doesn't matter. All right. There you go. She's now crying. She's so sad. And also, again, another unnatural pause. I guess it was overriding the picture again. If we take a look. Photo. Yeah, it was overriding the picture again. So now Edogawa and Uji are missing. And again, my theory is that she killed him in a fit of rage because we know there was a certain encounter. There is a significance to this round in particular because, again, if you win it and lose everything else, you still get the good ending. So I guess something happened between Irisu and Uji. So she killed him, and then that explains why Edogawa's body is found in such a bad shape, because she killed him in a fit of rage. At least that's my theory. And yeah, now if we win or lose, doesn't matter. We get bad ending. And then the game just pops right back as if nothing ever happened, which also gets some emotional response from me. This video has been going on for a while. I have so much I want to talk about, so let me know if you'd like to see more of this. I know the video was kind of all over the place, but I hope y'all still enjoyed. I have a lot more insight to share with you. So next video we're probably gonna get good ending and then best ending. And I'm gonna also feature the bad ending again, so I can call it like the all endings video. Maybe, I don't know. Depends how the other video ends up when I record it. So let me know your feedback. Leave a like and leave questions down in the comments if you have any. I'll try my best to answer them. And yeah, that's it for part 1 of the full playthrough of the Irisu Syndrome. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.